Hey everyone, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So we are going to be talking about the Mama June bunch, Alana, Pumpkin, Anna, and some. Okay, so I just want to say these are my opinions, and these are my opinions based on my own research. And I have done a lot of research, especially lately when it comes to um how parents' behavior towards their children affect the children. Okay, and I have to say, you guys know I put out a video recently about the 8 passengers family. Um, the mom was recently arrested and she has been charged with, at this point, I think it's up to 6 counts of CA, child A, right? And I have to say, you guys, while I was doing a lot of research on this family, I'm I can't lie to you, there were times that Pumpkin and Josh, like, I started thinking about them and like obviously the threats that we heard Josh make towards little Bentley when they were live one time over on TikTok and just the way that they yell and scream at the baby. I do want to be clear and say, like, no parents are perfect. All parents lose their temper from time to time, and I do understand that. But the fact that they do it so blatantly, so much, it seems to happen a lot. And not only does it happen a lot, but even like in front of, while on TikTok, they don't even like try to control themselves. They blatantly do it on TikTok. Now, one thing people's like, well, look who they came from. I mean, they're Mama June's kids. Obviously, they don't know any better. Like, they don't stand a chance. That I think they know the difference. I think they know between right and wrong because they don't do it in front of the cameras for WeTV. When WeTV is there filming, you never see Josh like yelling and screaming at the kids, really, or at all. You don't see Pumpkin, yelling and screaming at the kids. They are very like nurturing, motherly, fatherly, like positive parents on the show where the cameras are there. But then when they are filming themselves for TikTok videos, where they disassociate themselves from the show on TikTok. Like if you go into Pumpkin's TikTok and you're like, "Wait, are you Pumpkin from the show?" The moderators be like, "Yes, she is, but she does not talk about the show on this live on TikTok. This is her business. She does not talk about the show. Do not ask her any questions in regards to the show. She does not talk about the show." So they disassociate themselves from the show, and I feel like it's because they are completely different people, and they know that. They know that what we see on TikTok is not who we see on the show. And they want to be able to be themselves on TikTok and not have people like constantly like, what about this? What about that? Wait, you act different, blah, 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 blah. So they're just like, don't bring up the show on TikTok. If you guys notice that they don't bring up, they don't want to talk about the show. They don't want to answer any questions about the show or anything like that, right? I'm so sorry. My hair keeps getting in my face. So anyways, it sounds like they definitely know the difference, and that's why they don't do it in front of WeTV cameras. And also, Pumpkin has talked about the abuse that she suffered as a child, like the way Mama June raised her, and she's accused Sugar Bear of abusing her. So it seems like they definitely realize that their upbringing was not the best, and that they. How many times have we heard Pumpkin say like, "Oh, my mom did this. I want to do something different. I want to do something different. I want to do something different. I want to do something different." I want to be better for my kids. So they know that the way June raised them and the things that she did was not okay, but in their real life, what we see on TikTok, it definitely seems to me like they, in my personal opinion, a better, they're not doing much of a good job either. Okay. I used to really record them a lot, like when they would go live on TikTok. First off, I was a huge fan of the family, and I've said this time and time and time again. If you check my content anywhere from before like March of 2023, my perspective changed drastically on them. Okay. So when I first started watching them on TikTok, it was because I was such a fan of them. And then I seen this completely different attitude, personality from Alana, Josh, Pumpkin. And then I was kind of like shocked. And because, I'm a creator and I do YouTube videos about them, I started recording it to talk about it, to bring it to, everybody's attention of, wow, what is this? Okay. So you guys know that I did a video 4 months ago. Okay. 4 months ago. And it's called Pumpkin and Josh's Late Night TikTok, yelling at their 1.5-year-old son, Bentley, to lay the F down. I posted that video. I actually went live and we talked about it. The video was like an hour and 21 minutes long. And I showed like a 20-minute clip of Pumpkin live on TikTok selling pins And it started around 10:30 at night. Her live started, and her son Bentley, who was 1.5, he was not asleep. And Josh was trying to get him to sleep. Josh was trying to get him to lay down. Pumpkin was busy. So he got really frustrated, you could tell, and he yelled, he cursed, and he made some threats to his son. Okay. So I covered it. It was what it was, and we just moved on. But at this point, thank you. And I was kind of, moving on with it, like still cover the family from time to time to time. But yesterday, Alana actually on her TikTok actually tried to say that that I put together this video and that you couldn't tell what Josh was saying, that the sound was too muffled, and that he would never say that to Bubby. She's like, Elle Bee girl, the Elle Bee girl, and my name is Elle Bee, but whatever, call me what you want. But the Elle Bee girl, like put this video together, and it was very, muffled. You couldn't really tell what he was saying. I went back and listened to the first original video, and it was muffled. So you know what I did was I put my phone in the speaker because it was louder on my phone. Now, when I uploaded it to YouTube, it wasn't as loud. So I played it on my phone, and everybody came to the consensus that he threatened his 1.5-year-old son. Okay. Not only were the threats there, but we also heard, shut the F up, shut the F up, lay the F down. What are you effing doing? We heard Pumpkin say, Bentley, if you don't lay down, like, don't make me pop you again, lay the F down. And then she has the audacity to tell Bentley, be nice to Dada, while Dada is yelling and screaming at him, okay? So somebody actually emailed me. I was like, hey, have you seen this? Like, Alana went live on TikTok, and she made this comment that you couldn't tell what Josh was saying, and that he would never say that to Bubby. But then she defends the actions by saying, my mama used to threaten me all the time. My mama used to like chase me around the house, threaten to beat the brakes off me. And one thing that I've noticed from watching Pumpkin on her lives, and then Anna on her lives as well, is they normalize verbally abusing their children. And this is my opinion, my educated opinion based off the research that I've done. And because I have been covering 8 passengers and I've delved into that family, I mean, what do we see now? What do we see now? Never ever, when I was digging into 8 passengers, Ruby Frankie, did I hear her say that she was going to beat her children. Never did I even hear her say she was going to beat her children. She said she was not going to allow them to eat. She was going to, she made them sleep on the floor. If they had an accident at night, she made them go sleep on the bathroom floor. She would not change their sheets and their bedding or let them sleep with her, go sleep on the floor. And now she's been arrested. Granted, her son had to climb out of a window, but this is where it starts. If you are seeing this stuff on camera, if they will share some of this stuff on camera, what are they doing behind the camera? And honestly, I've always been one of those. It's like, oh, don't go real life on people. Don't. And I'm not saying go real life on people, but one thing that I had a lot of people ask on my video about 8 passengers, Ruby Frankie, is how was she on YouTube for 8 years and CPS did not get involved? Well, as I continued to do my research, I realized that viewers called CPS on her. Her own children, she had her own daughter, once she got 18 and moved out of the house, called CPS on her. Her sisters called CPS on her. Her neighbors called CPS on her. And CPS did not do anything, okay? They didn't do anything. Checked in, closed the case. In 2020, they closed the case. There was over a dozen visits from the police and CPS where the case always appeared to be closed, right? So it's like, hold up, what is it going to take? I mean, this stuff was documented on her YouTube channel, right? So I want to say I've never been the one to be like, oh, call CPS, call CPS, call CPS. But a lot of people were like, how did this not happen? Like, how did nobody fix this? Like, or not fix this, but how does she continue to do this for so long? And I feel like, I don't know what I see with like Pumpkin and the way I've seen like Pumpkin and Josh like yell at their child who is literally 1.5 years old out of frustration because they're not parenting correctly. That is my opinion. Like if you jump on a live stream at 10:30 at night in the same room as your child and you expect your child to go to sleep when you were talking loud, you got a big old light shining bright, you got the TV up super loud. That is a failure on the parent, not the child. You know what I'm saying? So either way, we're gonna watch what Pumpkin says. Somebody sent this to me. Where Alana says Josh didn't say it, but then she defends the fact that, well, if he would have said it, it would have been okay because we got threatened as kids growing up and nothing's wrong with that. We're not going to say, to say, well, Mama June did this to me, her daughter, so it must have been okay. Are we really going to say that Mama June's actions were okay? Alana, you had to move out of the house because slippers had heroin needles in them, okay? Pumpkin and Josh moved out of the house when Ella was very small because they were concerned about June and Gino's drug use. So we really can't say just because June did something that makes it okay. Okay? It threw me for such a loop that she's defending Josh's actions because June did this to them. Well, that does not make it okay. And you can actually go to childwelfare.gov, and you can actually read a lot and understand what child abuse is, what child abuse and neglect is, and how to recognize it, okay? So just because your parent does something doesn't mean that it's okay. And Alana being only 18 years old, she just turned 18 35 seconds ago. I will say I did not come to realize that I had childhood trauma until I was like 28. Like 25 to 28 is when I started realizing that I have trauma from my childhood. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's watch this really quickly. And there's a lot to get into, you guys. Hey, everyone. Anyways, hey, guys. But if you haven't seen the video, I have 2 videos up of it. We are going to kind of watch some of it here. We will watch some of it, okay? But it's just like him screaming at Bentley. It was like between 10:30 to like 12:30, where Pumpkin was on a live and Bentley would not go to sleep. And Pumpkin was on a live in the bedroom where they were trying to get Bentley asleep. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone that's come in to say that they love my videos. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, so let's see. All right.
Why did they say that? Because somebody was like, crazy how Josh would talk to Bentley in that video.
So she's like, so they're saying that it was like crazy how Bentley would talk to Josh. Did she say how Bentley would talk to Josh in that video? Is that what I just heard?
Crazy how Josh would talk to
Bentley. Sorry, I don't know how I just heard that.
Bentley in that video. Because like supposedly Elle Bee's got a video of Josh saying that he was gonna beat Bentley to his back and blue, and like I know that literally in the video you can't even hear him say that. Like literally in the video you can't hear him say nothing. It's literally so muffled. So even if he did say that, it's so muffled you can't even hear what the fuck he's saying. So at that point she's just literally adding extra stuff.
Adding extra stuff, she said. At this point, she's just adding extra stuff. First off, that video in itself was problematic. Even if he would not have said anything about beating him, the way that he yelled at him, lay the F down, that in itself was wrong. And you could hear that clear as day in some of the clips. But let's continue to listen because somebody actually calls Alana out and says, no, I heard it. Which they got it wrong. They said, no, I heard it. She said, Josh said he's going to beat the brakes off. Yeah, it's deflection all the way, deflection at its finest. She said, somebody in the comments said, no, I heard it. He said he was going to beat the brakes off Bentley. And she reads the comment, right? They mispronounce my name all the time.
Just trying to start some extra shit. Literally. Because Josh would never say that to Bubba. Like
Josh would never say that to Bubba, okay?
Lost the game.
So now she's about to read somebody's comment that says you can hear him say that that I'm about to beat the brakes off your son, Pumpkin.
She said, you can literally hear him say, I'm about to break the brakes off of you, son. Okay, your mama ain't never told you she about to beat the brakes off you?
That does not make it okay, okay? One thing that Ruby Frankie is sitting in jail for right now is for things that she did to those children. Just because someone is your mom and they do it does not make it okay. And that is like the biggest, like, whataboutism. Ain't that what it's called? Like, whataboutism? Like, what about the fact that my mom did X, Y, and Z? No, girl. No. No, 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 no. And we're not really going to go based off what June did, okay? And one thing that I noticed when I was listening to the Bunny podcast again, so Pumpkin, Josh, and Alana, they were invited to join Bunny, who is the wife or fiance or girlfriend to Jelly Roll. She has a podcast. And one thing that I heard that I was actually shocked at, I had to go back and listen, but one thing that I heard that I was shocked at is they actually admit that Mama June did not like Josh when Josh first came in the picture because of the age difference. So now when you hear Mama June saying, oh, well, Josh and Pumpkin had the same age difference, but nobody cared about that. Y'all were fine with that. Well, June, you weren't even fine with it. Anyways, why is Alana addressing this anyways? It should be Josh. I don't know, but the fact that she's like, first she tries to say it didn't happen. It didn't happen. He would never talk to him that way. So then it goes to like, oh, well, this is normal anyways. Well, why are you trying to defend to say that it didn't happen, that it would never happen, and then turn around and to defend it like it's okay, like it's okay behavior, like it's just normal, like, oh, this is normal parenting. Your mama never said she was going to beat the brakes off you.
I know my mama has. Well, Granny has. My grandma has chased me around the motherfucking house with a belt family. She's gonna beat my damn brakes off. Girl, you must be coming from one of the gentle parenting households then.
Okay, so now they want to bring up gentle parenting. I'm sorry, gentle parenting. We can talk about how maybe gentle parenting could be BS if your child is, I don't know, 15, 16, 17. But we are talking about a 1.5-year-old. We are talking about lay the F down to a 1.5-year-old at 10:30 to midnight because mom is on a live talking loud as heck with a light shining with the TV loud as heck where they put you to sleep. I'm sorry, gentle parenting? I'm not, I don't think that, necessarily gentle parenting works. I think you do have to like establish like, okay, I'm the parent, you're the child, and you will, there will be consequences for your actions. But excuse me, this is a 1.5-year-old. A 1.5-year-old. Don't bring up gentle parenting because honestly, when it comes to a 1.5-year-old, yes, gentle parenting is what it should be. Probably.
I'm not, nope. Your mom must get gentle parenting. I'm sorry. My mama, she was literally telling me, I'm gonna beat the fucking brakes off you if you don't fucking stop.
And clearly we see that that was probably not the best. Yeah. Okay, so she brags that I'm going to read you guys some of the comments from Reddit, okay? Why did you say that? Hold on. It's really wild. And I love this first comment saying, why are they talking about being abused as a child as if it's a flex and something to be proud of? It's really not. And then somebody else says, because Anna verbally abuses hers. Doesn't matter if that's how you grew up, you can still choose to end the cycles of abuse. Somebody else says, I was raised in a toxic household and I refuse to let my children ever feel like I had to feel. I broke the cycle and yep, I'm a gentle parent. Somebody said, good for you. It's not easy to break the cycles. And then somebody else says, no, I swear I heard Josh threatening his tiny child and they probably do beat the poor baby's butt. Y'all heard them defending it. Somebody else says, he said beat the breath out of him. And it was very low. If anything, she pushed the volume up so you could hear what he said. You can't add or distort what they say. Somebody else says, your mom is trash, honey boo boo. A literal crackhead that you had to drag out of the casino to get clean and sober. I don't think you should be using her behavior to validate others. Also, I'm not going to read that comment. I'm Gen X, and our parents didn't think twice about smacking us around, but it doesn't make it okay. They could stop the cycle, but they are too dumb to know better. Of course, these morons equate gentle parenting with permissive parenting. Most of the older generations and idiots like June and her clan hear gentle and just assume too soft, passive, etc. Mama cusses from TikTok. Mama cusses from TikTok models true gentle parenting and says that she thinks a better word for it would be responsive parenting. So people stop getting it twisted. Because on one hand, you see plenty of self-proclaimed gentle parents who are actually permissive. They just miss the mark by not giving any sort of discipline. I have a family member who is like this, so I get it. Gentle parenting is ultimately authoritative parenting. Parents are loving, kind, and consider their kids' feelings, but still hold their kids accountable and incorporate rules, expectations, and natural consequences. They act as the authoritative figure, fair but firm, without physical punishment, verbal abuse, and making their kids fear them. Permissive parenting is when you treat your child like a little angel who can do no wrong and you let them run you. But can't expect much understanding on parenting from people who were neglected and raised to act like animals and aren't actively doing anything to break that cycle. Somebody said lies. Another person says this whole family has no class at all and they kill me with their famous status. Famous for what? Somebody else says your mom also dated a child molester and chose drugs over her own children. So Reddit kind of tore them up in the comment sections, not gonna lie. But I think, a lot of the comments that were left, like they hold weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we really gonna act like because June did something that it makes it okay? We all know June was not the golden parent. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want, we can watch it really quickly. Now, I will say on the re-upload, it was pretty low, which is accurate. On my initial upload where I did the live stream, I recognized how low it was. So that's why I played it on my phone. So I honestly think to watch the whole video, and it's like an 11-minute clip, would serve a good purpose. Also, I will say, and I've been so hesitant to say this. I've been so hesitant to say this just because if you go watch Anna live on TikTok. Watch her 5 or 6 times. Watch her when her children come in. She is very, very like, get the F out of here. What the F are you doing? And they said that her older daughter, Caitlin, when Caitlin found out that her mom had cancer, just started clinging to her mom and like never wanted to leave her mom's side. But every time I've ever caught her on TikTok, and this is not me trying to bash anybody, this is just me stating what I see. That every time Caitlin comes in to like kind of sit beside her mom, like hang out with her mom, she's like, get the F away from here. Get the F away from here. Like, go to bed. Leave me alone. Where did you hear that Anna was abused by GM? Who's GM? Oh, grandma? Right. Oh, exactly. Alana, seriously, this looks bad for your neonatal nursing career. I mean, if you want to become a nurse and you think, you can have this stance that it's okay to threaten your children, I don't know how far you're going to go. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. And I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, it could be like the medication that she's on that's causing her like to have mood swings. It could be the cancer that she's on that's causing her to have mood swings. I've talked to a family friend that said that she's always been like this. She has also admitted on the TikToks that the only medication that she is on is a pain medication that she takes here and there at night when she's ready to go to bed. Then when she's on her TikTok lives, she's not under the influence of any medication, that she saves that to take when she's really in pain and it's before bed. Will I say that maybe, she's gotten worse? Possibly, but the family members that I've talked to have said that she has always like talked to her kids that way. So I've been so like scared to say anything like that. But after watching Ruby Frankie openly be verbally ABUSIVE to her children, and people probably scared to say it, probably scared that they're going to be like, because if you jump on a video and you accuse somebody or you say, in my opinion, that's not right the way they're treating their children. Stay out of other people's business. How dare you, talk about somebody else's parenting? I'm sorry, but at this point, seeing all the videos that I've seen of Russell and Eve with the dark circles under their eyes, marks on their face where it looks like somebody's hit them, and then finding out that these two children were holed up in some room in their mom's business partner's house, and Russell had to climb out of the window and he went to the neighbor's house begging for food and water. They were malnourished. They had deep lacerations from ropes. Russell had duct tape still attached to his hands and his legs. I'm sorry, but this woman, did she duct tape her children on the, in front of people on YouTube? No, she didn't do that. But there were signs. There were obvious signs with the way that she disciplined her children that this was not okay. That she was not a loving parent. So honestly, seeing this happen with these children has really just kind of knocked me down to a level of I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. If I see you mistreating your children on a live stream, I feel like we need to say it. We need to speak it. We need to say this is not right. The fact that they think that it's acceptable is the problem because they have access to some of the best therapists out there. Every time the show comes back on, they're going to therapy with June. How about let's schedule therapy for the show and say, let's get into why, we have a short fuse with our children. Let's get into how we can work better with the discipline of our children rather than cursing them. What's the alternatives? Teach me the alternatives. How about that? I don't know, and I know I'm probably going to get some hate from people watching this on replay. Mind your business, mind your business. Guess what? If these kids grow up and write a damn book about how they were abused, and I'm not saying they will, I'm just saying, then everybody's going to be like, it was right in front of our faces, and we didn't say nothing. Well, sorry, I'm going to say something. I don't like it. And I've been doing a lot of research on what this will do to children, to threaten them, to yell and scream at them. And I'm not going to say parents are supposed to be perfect. Am I going to say that I've never yelled at my children? No, I'm not going to say that I have. I'm not perfect. I know that'll happen. But recognizing that it's not okay. Here's my thing. I would not sit on here and say, oh, it's A-okay to scream and yell and curse at your kids. Sure. The fact that I know that it's not okay would tell anybody that I try to make sure I don't do it. And that it's it's a ever once in a while in a blue moon when I lose my temper that it happens. If somebody else sit there and say, oh, nothing's wrong with that, then they're probably doing it anytime they want to. Anyways, so we're going to watch this video really quickly. Let's see. Okay. And I did take some notes from the podcast, from the Bunny podcast, and we're going to go over them in just a second. This one's okay. All right, let's get into this. Okay, so this is the clip, and I do have it uploaded on my channel. But this is one of like the first live streams that I like really recorded of her. My phone says it started at 9:56. However, for Pumpkin, it was 10:56 because we do have an hour difference.
So that's how it's going to work. You're going to say claim earrings, and then will you tell me? Kitty. No, Bubba Man. You be sweet to you, Daddy.
No, Bubba Man. Be sweet to your daddy while your daddy's yelling at you, but okay.
So you got these.
He says he's about to lose his something in this GD place. Probably his mind. He probably said he's about to lose his mind. And I will tell you, when I uploaded this to YouTube, the volume was not as loud. On my phone, it was much louder. I did increase the volume, but on my phone, what I could hear when editing was much louder.
What's wrong? Your bag thing. You got Yellowstone. Son. You got these gold ones. Scrubs on. Bun hair up all high. Don't care. They say nurse life. So I got you. You got the nurse ones. You got these blue. And
so you can clearly hear the baby in the background, just making noise and stuff. And they want the baby to go to sleep though, right? Which, how can the baby go to sleep? Like, you have not given the baby an environment to go to sleep. There is so much going on in that bedroom that's going to stimulate that child and keep that, that child's going to want to stay awake.
Oh my gosh. I need to fix it. I know, babe. All right, claim the baseball. Claim earrings ×8. Lee Campbell. Okay. Let me write your name down and get you a basket. Lee. Hey, you've got this. And
also, you guys can see that I put up the captioning, in yellow. I don't want to play, son. I'm trying to go to sleep, which some of what he said was fine, but there were other times that the things that he said were not okay.
And then these say have faith. Your shipping fee. And your item will not go out. So let me know if y'all want any more earrings. I don't want to play. You just say claim earrings and then let me know. I'll claim one more. Okay. So they're cute though. She said twins, please. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get to the pins. That's like 100. I just got here. What all do you have tonight? I have earrings. Can we pick which earrings we want? So I'm not letting anybody pick tonight, Daisy, usually because I have so many like this. I know that I'll show them to you. Literally so many in here. Living a sweet life. That is so good. Cash out, please. Lee Campbell. Okay. This is a duplicate. So girl. She said no wood ones, please. Okay, girl.
Okay, because I have it sped up. Can't hear it as well, so let's back it up. Bubby, please. F-U-C-K.
So this one has pineapples on it. Those are feathers. No.
I ain't gonna lie, when she did that, listen, when she started screaming, I was even like, mini heart attack there. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. Of course he does.
He said he's got something in his hands. Of course, Effie, of course he does. Which he didn't. He didn't have anything in his hands.
He makes me so fucking mad.
As my daughter would say, jump scare. That's what my daughter says. Jump scare. I'm so sorry, Elise. I'm so sorry.
He had this little card, but everything's right here. Bubba. Here. Yeah, they're laying down. Okay. Lay down.
So Sugar Bear, that's what's said. Is it Adria or Adria? They said that he did. He said that it was an accident when he threw the keys. That Pumpkin came in asking for the keys because she needed to get something out of the truck or something. So he tossed the keys. He said production was there. He's like, production was there. Like, I just threw her the keys, and she would catch them, miss, and they hit her in the eye. I would love for production to speak out on that and say if they felt like this was like actually ABUSE or if this was like, you know what I'm saying? I personally don't necessarily believe it, but that is just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion of makeup, so I don't know.
Y'all, I'm so sorry, but it's like, dang, y'all. He be getting up here in my baskets. Okay, so she wants 4. Miss Rachel does.
And like, of course, he's getting in your baskets. This child is less than 2 years old, and you got baskets all around the floor with little goodies in them, little trinkets. Of course, he's going to get in the baskets.
Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm trying to do. Lay the fuck down. Lay down.
So there he's like, your sister's asleep. That's what I'm trying to get you to do, but you won't lay the F down. Lay down.
No, this is relief pay. I think she's that. She definitely pay. Okay. Kimmy's mama, give me just a second. Who, me? What'd you ask me? Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, just.
He didn't say give me my book bag. He said give me my phone back. But actually, I've heard, and this is just what I've heard, that she does kind of swear a little bit. But that's just what I've heard. But of course, if you swear, she's gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids are like little computers. Especially if, like if you laugh at it. If, like, say she does swear and they laugh and think that it's cute, she would continue to do so.
Just 6, girl. Yeah. Sit down. Okay. No, sir. No. I said no. Get in the bed and lay down. Bentley? Don't try me. I don't combine shipping. The shipping is separate, so you send that first.
Dylan, what are you over here doing? What do you have? Give it to me. What is this?
What number did I just say? These are beaded pins, so they write too. They're pins. What number did I just say? Sons, just sit down, lay down.
So I will say on this one, it was very low. So in a minute, you're going to see me play it on my phone, okay? But it doesn't take away all the other things that he said so far. And he's literally getting her to pumpkin. I mean, you can hear one part of it. When I'm telling you I'm about this close to, you can hear that right off. Like, you can hear that. When I tell you I'm about this close to what? Was he going to say, I'm about this close to go, brush Bentley's hair. I'm about this close to go and paint my toenails. I'm about this close to go take a dump. Like, clearly he was going to say something about the child, because right after that, she says, lay down, son, lay down. So he was absolutely saying something in reference to what he was about to do to Bentley. Common sense tells you that. But I do play it on my phone in a minute.
Sons, just sit down, lay down. You may not remember I was on now. I'm okay, girl. I'm tired. 20, okay, 25. Beth, what was 26? Sorry. Well, because I was already moving on to the next one, boo.
I was on the other side of the camera because your ass out.
Maddie Payne.
She said, well.
I got you, girl. She said the nurse one. Okay, girl. Josh is on it tonight. They said, claim 28, please. Well, you were just bitching about both fans being on.
I said, why aren't both fans?
Oh, I thought you said, why are both fans on? So I thought you meant that one and that one.
Momma.
The one with flowers. No, Bubba. Go sit down. This one? It's Jennifer.
You can slightly hear Bentley in the background whining, and he said, what are you doing?
I'm just confirming Miss Jennifer wants this one yesterday. So, like, flame 62. Get up. $78.
Get up. Get down.
$78. They're $10 a piece. Claim 78, Miss Kim Elizabeth. Claim 80, ham and cheese. No, put it back down. Put it down. Put it down. Okay. No. I'm going to pop you again. No, sir. Ham and cheese. I got you, girl. Those are the cow ones that I do.
Lay down, please.
She did say, I'm going to pop you before I pop you again or something like that.
They're $10 a piece.
And I will say, I grew up getting popped. I don't know if it started at 1.5, but I did grow up getting popped.
No. I have her payment confirmed. No, go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down, Bubba's. I'm almost done, baby. I'm literally packaging up orders now. Ham and cheese. I got you, girl. Okay. It's Taylor Noble paying for her. Get up there with that and lay down. Gotta lay down, Bubba. Now. Okay, she's confirmed.
Where are you going?
Miss Beth already paid hers as well.
Come on, let's lay down.
Miss Beth.
Come on, you want to lay down with that up?
Let me get her, y'all.
Nah.
Parents have already had these beds. I have a ring bling with a K. It's going to be $16, girlfriend. $16 for ring bling with K. I did get yours, Jennifer. I got you, girl. You're good to go. Bubba, lay down. Okay.
Lay down.
Sarah. If new and claimed, please fill it. Thank you, Bella. Oh, Billy is. I swear, he is on one tonight. Girl, did you get rid of all the cups now? I still have one available. And that's the dead inside but caffeinated. It's with the cheetah print. Claim hidden line.
Bentley sounds exhausted in the video, and Pumpkin is acting like this is nothing. I mean, if I was in a live stream and Sean starts yelling at our kids like that, I would be like, what the hell happened to you? Excuse me, can you bring my husband back to the scene? Because I don't know who this guy is, but you're about to get popped. You know what I'm saying?
Who's got you, girl? Okay. I got you for that one. Erin hasn't claimed hers, so hers is about to go back up.
Is anybody else hearing the audio really good? Because on my end, it's not coming out that good. It might be, I think my volume is low on my computer. Because I was like, wait, I thought I heard it better. Like, I know it wasn't extremely loud. I remember playing it on my phone, but it's coming pretty low.
Lay down.
You killed it tonight. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Erin, she did not pay for her orders, so it's in the back.
Oh, I don't, not defending her or anyone. How is she trying to help support her family? However she is. I commend her for doing what she does as far as like having her TikTok store, that's the thing is that people get it confused on what I am complaining about. I'm not complaining about her being on TikTok selling these items. Girl, more power to you for hustling. One thing you can say about Pumpkin is she will hustle to bring in that income, you know what I'm saying? And in maybe ways that aren't, something like she's not going to work at McDonald's or Burger King, but she's figuring out a way to hustle where she can be at home still and bring in a pretty good income. And one thing that I can say as well is that works for her, selling things on TikTok. She is a known face. So when people come across her, they're like, oh, that's Pumpkin. And a lot of people still look at Pumpkin as this savior to Alana. So they want to support her and they want to support that. So she sells things really well. The problem that I have is the treatment of the children and the treatment of her customers, because she has lost so many customers because they see her as the person that's portrayed on the show. So they want to support her. So they're on her TikTok trying to purchase things from her. And then she yells at them. She starts mocking them, laughing at them, attacking them because they don't understand how her TikTok show works. They're like, I want that Pumpkin. I'm claiming that. Why aren't you seeing that? Girl, I already said it's who I see, not who you see first. Come on, be so for real. And then the person's like, wow, I'm like a really big fan of Pumpkin. Like, I just didn't know. And when Pumpkin attacks somebody, when Pumpkin gets rude to one of her followers, viewers, potential customers, it's not just Pumpkin. Her like little minions on the TikTok fall right in line. And then they start making really nasty comments to those people as well. Um, they start making really like, oh my god, who, like, really, come on, like, how dumb are you? Like, I cannot support anybody. I don't care who you are. I cannot support you if you don't at least appreciate the people that help you support your family. You know, the people the reason you've been able to support your family is because you want to show that people watch. Appreciate those viewers. Also, you are now supporting your family by doing this TikTok thing. And people buy from you because they have this, thank you. They have this preconceived notion that you are some great sister that stepped up to take care of her baby sister when mom was off, off gallivanting the casinos with her drug addict boyfriend, and you stepped up and you took in your sister and you put her back in school and you made sure she graduated with straight A's and you sent her off to college. And that's what people think if they just watch the show. If they watch TikTok and they watch it long enough, they will see that was not necessarily the case. That you were a disobedient child when you were growing up, but what did you really have to respect with the mom that you have? So I can give you that. You started dating somebody that was honestly a little too old for you when she got pregnant at 17 and Josh was like 22 or something like that. She even says on the Bunny podcast that her mom did not like Josh because of the age difference. So even June had a little bit of like something in her saying, my 17-year-old child should not be talking to like a 22-year-old or however. He was older than her. I can't say as you get older, the age gap becomes less of an issue. If you're 22 dating a 26-year-old, that is different. If you're 14 dating a 19-year-old, there's a difference there. You know what I'm saying? In reality, though, she talks to people like they are crap. If there are family members, and this is what I've heard, there are family members that disagree with the things that she is doing, and they try to voice that, she will bulldog them. Also, in reality, she has been really careless, which I'm going to say babies are a blessing, so I kind of hesitate to say this, but she's talked about being broke several times, talked about, almost losing her vehicle at one point, and asked her viewers, she was on a TikTok, and there was like 1,700 people in the chat, and she said, if each one of you guys sent me $1, I could catch up on my van note and not lose my van. I'm literally like, they're wanting to repossess my van. So if you guys, everybody on here sent me $1, I could catch up. I mean, to the point that Josh got frustrated with her. Josh was like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you were like in that bad of shape, like, I don't know, like she was kind of irresponsible living in a house that was so little while having her sister, and she got pregnant again and again and again. And when she got pregnant with the twins, my sources say was when Alana said, I'm moving out. She allowed Alana to date Draylon, who is older as well. Alana was like 14, I think is what I heard when her and Draylon really started talking. Yes, she was 14. And Draylon was, let's see, 18. So I want to say she was 14, he was 18. And I was told by a source that the way Alana met Draylon is because Draylon and his friend Draco supplied Pumpkin and Josh with their marijuana. And that's how she met. This is speculative. This is what I have been told via sources, the people that know them, is that Draylon and Draco would come over to Pumpkin and Alana's, smoke with them or whatever, and Pumpkin and Josh's, and that's how she met Draylon, became involved with Draylon. Never did they say, when we were introduced to Draylon, it's like, he's a college student. No, he wasn't. He like enrolled in college and ended up dropping out, but she allowed her daughter to date him, even though he was like coming out of probation for statutory RAPE. At 18 years old, Draylon at 18 years old was involved with a 15-year-old and snuck in her window, and the mom caught him and went to the police station. This was something that Draylen already had on him. Pumpkin didn't say, hell no, not on my watch, you ain't. Sure, great guy. And then when Pumpkin got pregnant with the twins, Alana said, I gotta move out because there's already no room for me. And when you have twins, there's really gonna be no room for me. So I need to move out. She moved in with Draylen, according to my sources. And according to my sources, she has been living with Draylen for a minute now, since, well, before the twins were born, you know. So anyways, the issue that I take with Pumpkin is not, you know, what her hustle is for work. It's so many other things. Now, you guys said you could hear what he said, and it was pretty good because I had the other part of the video popped up where we were going to listen to that. But if you guys said you could hear it good, then we're not going to do that. But I want to go over some things with you guys that I wished. I hope Alana, when she has children, she does break the cycle. And maybe she will be one of those gentle parents. Because guess what? Gentle parenting is not letting your child, run the house. It was explained earlier. I read it in a way that it was explained that made a lot of sense. It's giving your child, rules and letting them know that you are the adult, but it's not yelling, screaming, cussing, threatening them. So Anna, I don't think it's broken the cycle. If you watch her on TikTok, you know that she hasn't. But let's get into this really quickly because I just want to read a little bit of this real quick. 7 psychological effects of being yelled at as a child. Mind you, I want to say, I know all parents yell. I'm not going to sit here and call every parent that's ever yelled a bad parent. Recognizing and trying not to do it that much makes the difference. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so yelling is a disciplinary method employed by most American parents. Almost all of us have experienced being yelled at by our parents at some point during our childhood, and most of us have turned out fine. However, this does not necessarily mean that yelling is harmless for all children. Not all yellings are created equally. Some are more damaging than others. There are generally 4 types of parental yelling. Reactive yelling, so if you get hurt, this is an impulse response to a child's actions, usually caused by surprise, shock, fear, or immediate anger. Parents often yell reflexively in these situations without thinking through with their response. Nearly every parent has done this. I've done this. One of my kids the other day, done something play with me, but it hurt. And I was like, oh my God, why did you do that? And I think that's kind of what this is. Nearly every parent has done it. When your inquisitive toddler is on the verge of poking their fork into an electrical outlet, your preschooler empties a jar of spaghetti sauce into your handbag, or your impulsive child is attempting to flush a slipper down the toilet, yelling is a natural response. In many of these situations, it is justified. Raising your voice is understandable when action must be halted immediately and when you're caught off guard. This type of reaction occurs in nearly every family and is unlikely to cause lasting psychological harm to the child, given that it is not followed by other parental aggression. Exhaustion yelling. I think that is a great thing to do, Nat. If you are feeling overwhelmed with your children, give yourself a timeout, because children don't self-regulate like adults, and they don't understand like adults. I've been reading all this stuff about how, if you are threatened, okay, if you are doing something, if you're out and about, if somebody threatens you, are you gonna submit and bow down to them and be like, okay, well, let me do what you want because you're threatening me? Or if you're gonna be like, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but you ain't gonna threaten me. As an adult, we don't like to be threatened, but we threaten physical harm on our children if they don't behave the way that we want them to. Okay. When parents are physically or emotionally drained, their patience and ability to cope with challenging situations diminish. Of course. As a result, when they feel stressed, overwhelmed, or irritated, or when their children ignore them, they raise their voices to express their frustration and regain control. This form of yelling can be mitigated by becoming more aware of your emotional and physical state. You can name it when you recognize you're about to lose your temper. Saying basically, if I have to repeat this, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it and yell. I don't like yelling, and I'm sure neither do you. So, can you please do this now? This form of yelling often involves derogatory remarks, humiliation, and verbal aggression. So, this is aggressive yelling. Okay. Some parents may be pushed to a state of intense rage, prompting them to direct verbal attacks towards others, including their children. However, some may already possess a mean spirited disposition. Such parents may not treat their children kindly, possibly harboring resentment due to the unplanned parenthood, job loss, or general dislike for their children's presence. Aggressive yelling is verbal abuse. It indicates that the angry parent may be experiencing emotional issues and expressing their feelings through anger. Often, the underlying issues causing the expression of anger are unrelated to the child, highlighting the need for the parent to seek help in anger management to foster a healthier family environment. Habitual yelling, which I feel like habitual yelling is there too when it comes to Pumpkin and Josh. When yelling takes root due to parents frequently raising their voices for reasons not connected to immediate concerns, they may develop a habit of yelling, leading to a shorter fuse. Therefore, they may become easily triggered by similar situations in their interactions with children, causing them to yell impulsively. Frequent yelling may also encompass other types of yelling, such as exhaustion and aggressive yelling. Children can suffer significant psychological damage if habitual yelling becomes regular verbal abuse. So, certain types of yelling is absolutely considered verbal abuse. Reactive yelling is not really one of them, it doesn't cause any psychological abuse. Habitual yelling, aggressive yelling, those things are considered abusive forms of yelling. There are 10 categories of never acceptable verbal abuse: rejection or withdrawal of love, nobody loves you; verbal put downs, you're such an idiot; perfectionism, you're such a failure, you only come in second; negative prediction, you're never going to amount to anything, anyways; negative comparison, you'll never be like your cousin; scapegoating, you're the reason we are separated; shaming, look at yourself, you're so fat; cursing or swearing, go to hell; threats, I'm going to kill you if you do that, or I'm going to beat the breath out of you, the mess out of you, the brakes off you. Guilt trip, after all I've done for you, this is how you repay me. Psychological effects of being yelled at. In the form of verbal abuse, yelling constitutes psychological aggression intended to inflict emotional pain on the child. Verbal abuse is emotional abuse and one of the most challenging and prevalent forms. It can have severe long-term psychological effects on the child. Research shows that the adverse effect of aggressive yelling appears comparable to other types of abuse. Those negative effects of yelling can result even when abuse is relatively mild. Parental verbal aggression can change the brain over time. Yeah, it's okay to get frustrated. We're all going to get frustrated. I got 6 kids. Let me tell you. My kids can get home from school and be home 5 minutes, and I need a timeout for myself. Literally, I get 5 minutes. My kids get home from school, and I'm like, I got to go lock myself in the bathroom because I'm about to, 5 minutes. We're going to get upset. It is what it is. Diffusion tensor imaging offers a more comprehensive view of the brain fiber tracts than standard MRI scans. Through this advanced imaging technique, researchers discovered that even mild verbal abuse is closely linked to decreased white matter integrity within 3 distinct brain regions. One of these regions play a crucial role in verbal IQ, comprehension, and language development. So, attachment trauma. Frequent yelling can weaken the attachment bond between a parent and a child, leading to attachment issues. Insecure attachment can have a significant impact on adult relationships later in life. The adult child may have a difficult time establishing and maintaining close relationships, or they may repeatedly enter into unhealthy relationships. Constant yelling and rejection can be highly damaging to self esteem in children. In some cases, this type of maltreatment may have more detrimental long-term effects on a child's self-worth than physical abuse, as it directly threatens the child's developing sense of self and emotional well-being. When a child experiences frequent verbal abuse, they may internalize these negative messages, leading to feelings of worthlessness, low self-esteem, potentially long-lasting emotional scars that can impact their mental health and relationships. Parental verbal aggression is a strong predictor. I don't know why I just could not remember. Like, I'm like, what word is that? Strong predictor of mental health symptoms. Effects of yelling include feelings of anxiety, depression, disassociation, irritability, anger, and hostility in young adults. Earlier onsets of bipolar disorder is another problem associated with aggressive parental yelling. What, in my opinion, I heard from these TikToks aggressive parental yelling. And it can lead to early onset of bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression, disassociation, irritability, anger, hostility in young adults. Furthermore, they are more likely to engage in physical and verbal aggression, run away, and engage in delinquent behavior. Social support and positive relationship with parents and peers play a crucial role in fostering resilience and effective coping strategies in adolescence. So then it goes into resources. These resources can help reduce stress, encourage adaptive coping, and prevent the development of maladaptive behaviors. However, teenagers with verbally abusive parents are more likely to adopt unhealthy coping as escapism, such as escapism. As a result, they may be more prone to internet gaming disorder or other maladaptive coping mechanisms. Physical health, it can affect their physical health. Chronic stress, often referred to as toxic stress, can have a long-lasting effects on the body. Toxic stress can trigger a constant release of stress hormones. Over time, excessive cortisol can suppress the immune system and the body's inflammatory response, increasing the risk of infection. Did anybody realize it can actually have an effect on your physical well-being? That by constantly being verbally abused, over time, excessive cortisol can suppress the immune system and the body's inflammatory response, increasing the risk of infection. Children exposed to toxic stress face a heightened risk of various adverse health outcomes in adulthood, such as heart disease, obstructive pulmonary disease, cancer, asthma, and autoimmune disease. Like, what? Okay, so this is not just like, oh, well, my mom yelled at me and I turned out fine. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you don't even realize the effects that it's had on you. But I think one thing we can all agree on is just because June Shannon did something doesn't mean that it was fine. So over there listening to the Bunny podcast, um, at the 9 minute and 28-second mark, they talk about how June did not take school serious for Alana. She was homeschooled due to her being on the show, but the work never really got done. Alana felt really far behind. And when she moved in with Pumpkin, she got put in regular school and she had to catch up. So, yeah, but, Mama June did it, so it's okay, right? Pumpkin says that her and Josh did not graduate. June didn't try to see to it that Pumpkin graduated. She brings up how she got pregnant at 17, but Mama June allowed it. At the 10-minute 54 mark, at the 10-minute 54-second mark, Pumpkin talks about how what a lot of people didn't see on Here Comes Honey Boo Boo was the abuse. They talk about at the 16-minute mark, Pumpkin talks about how June started doing drugs after her and Sugar Bear split. And Bunny, what's her name? I always forget her name. Bunny? She asks, like, how did you guys know this? And they go, oh, she was very open with it. Alana is literally age like 10 or something. And June would pull her aluminum boat. That's what they called it. Sit in the house with her aluminum boat, like doing drugs. But they commended her for that. They commended June for the fact that she was so open. My thing is like, you shouldn't lie to your kids, but I don't know, maybe the one thing that you shouldn't tell them is the fact that you're doing methamphetamines. I don't know. But they defended her. They literally like praised her for being so open about it and doing it in front of them. Okay. Anyways, The 17-minute mark, they talked about how the show being canceled, about the show being canceled because June started dating Mark McDaniel, which was the guy that molested Anna. And then Pumpkin, in my opinion, victim shames Anna. Saying like, oh, I was only like 3 or 4 at the time when it happened, so I really don't know what's true. In my opinion, it's like a case of a he said, she said situation. I'm sorry, this is your sister that in court documents you stated you were in the bed one time when it happened. You were like 3 years old. Yes. If you go, I linked the podcast. I actually linked the podcast, because I was going to play clips, but I don't want to risk like Bunny like striking me or anything. So I just wrote down the timestamps at the 16-minute mark. I did hear that Danny Masterson got 30 years. At the 16-minute mark on part 1, they talk about how June started doing drugs and she was very open with it, and that she would have her little boat, her little aluminum boat, and smoke it right in front of them. Now, 17-minute mark. They talk about the show being canceled because June started dating Mark McDaniel. And Pumpkin says, pictures came out of Momma with Mark. We were all hanging out, and Alana's uncle sold the pictures. We were just all hanging out and catching up. Mind you, on Dr. Phil, Pumpkin said those pictures were fake. Pumpkin said that those pictures were fake and that never happened and that they never hung out with Mark McDaniel. Later on, she recanted and said that they did. But mind you, on Dr. Phil was when Anna came forward to say why she was estranged from her family. Anna came forward and said, this is why I live with my grandma. Mark McDaniel, my mom's boyfriend, abused me sexually. I told my mom. She denied it, did not believe me. You're just trying to ruin my life. So I moved to my granny. My granny quit talking to my mom because my mom continued to choose Mark McDaniel. Mark McDaniel ended up going to prison. After, like, the day he gets out, him and June are gallivanting around, looking at houses. Alana is with them. Pumpkin is with them. When the pictures come out, TLC, pulls the show. And Anna's talking about this. She's talking about what it felt like for her mom to choose her abuser over her. And then she took her mom to court for her trust because TLC paid June for all the kids to be on the show, and she was supposed to be putting their money into a trust. So Anna knew that she had a trust. She had to sue her mama to get it. And there's like hardly anything. It was like depleted, according to Anna. So on Dr. Phil, he does his little interview with Anna. Then he does an interview with Pumpkin and Mama June, and they deny that the photos are real. Even Pumpkin denies it. Later on, she admits it. But like, your mom is obviously like telling you to lie. Like, oh, we're going to say those photos were fake. You know, it'll really hurt us. Like, maybe we get the show back if we say that they're fake, you know. But your mom encouraged you, obviously, to lie, or she sat by and you guys both lied about whether or not you guys were hanging out with your sister's abuser. So, yeah, let's talk about what Mama June did or didn't do. Like it has any freaking, like it holds weight to anything. Okay? At the 18-minute mark, Pumpkin says, I tell everybody, if I don't trust my own mom, then I'm not going to trust you. These kids don't even trust their own mama, but they're defending Josh, threatening to beat his 1.5-year-old because June used to threaten to beat them. Okay. Maybe so, Jamie. Maybe so. Let's see. Oh, another thing, at the 20-minute mark, Pumpkin admits that even after Mama June and Sugar Bear split up, she said Sugar Bear came in like every weekend to visit, but that died out when Mama June got with Gino, which backs up Sugar Bear's story that he came every weekend, but when June got with Gino, she stopped allowing him to come visit. So that actually, she said that, and it backs up Sugar Bear's part of the story. Also, 23-minute mark, Sugar Bear wouldn't know what drugs were if they landed in his lap. 53, we never got any of the Honey Boo Boo money. It is what it is. As far as, they literally admit that June never gave them their money. Hail Mama June. She's a great parent. She whipped us, so it must be okay. But yet, all these, like, come on, really? At the 26-minute mark, Bunny said that it was wrong that the show knew about the abuse but did nothing. At the 28-minute mark, she said, you would think A mom would want to protect her daughter. Let's see. At the 28:48 mark, um, Pumpkin talked about how her mom knew what she was doing as she was growing up, like hanging out with older people. She said, I would leave the house for like a week at a time, come back drunk. And then Alana even started laughing and said something about tell her about the first night that you got faded or something. I don't know what faded means. Um, she starts laughing and she's like, oh, and she's like, yeah, 17. I like woke up beside a tree and I was like, I got faded or something. I don't even know what this is about. You know, like, I don't know. Can somebody tell me what faded means? I don't know. But she was like 17. She also says the first time that she smoked marijuana, she was like 11 years old. And all this was under Mama June's watch. Okay. So, oh, it just means high. Okay. Around the 33-minute mark, they talk about how June did not like Josh because of the age difference, but June actually defends that now. So they also mention the around the 34.5-minute mark that June lies a lot when talking about where she met Gino and just in general, like, oh, she lies a lot. Um, and then at the 38-minute mark, 38:22, Alana mentions how right before she moved out of the house, she walked into the bathroom to Gino shooting up heroin. Okay, so let's not defend Josh threatening his son or treating his son the way that he did because your mom did it. Because your mom did a lot of things that that she shouldn't have done. And this is not me trying to bash June, but June has literally said several times, like, I made a lot of mistakes, I did a lot of things wrong, and I will acknowledge that. I will acknowledge, yes, you guys listen to it. 38-minute 20-second mark. Alana says, right before I moved out, I walked into the bathroom to Gino shooting heroin, and he pushed me out of the bathroom. Um, and I don't want this to sound like it's a bashing session, but really, I just wish the girls would really kind of dig deeper and start doing some research. That just because your mom did it, your granny did it, it doesn't make it okay. And there are lasting effects to parents treating their children this way. And I just don't like that I've seen it. And now covering the 8-passenger story, it's really made me feel like I need to like have a louder voice. I've always been kind of scared, like, oh my gosh, I don't need to I don't need to say anything. I don't want their fans to come for me. But it is what it is. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And I think if you see something, you say something. And I've also been one of those people that you don't call CPS, but I'm like, honestly, if you really see something that you really think warrants the call, make the call. Because these kids were taken off YouTube. She ended up like kind of getting away from YouTube because of the fact that there were so many calls to CPS and they were being accused of, she was being accused of, abusing her children. So she ended kind of like walking away from the platform. But I don't know. I just feel like you got to do something. You like people being scared to say something. What's the worst that can happen? If you think a child is being abused, so you do call CPS, they show up and they're like, no, everything's good here and leave. I've had CPS called on me before. It's an inconvenience, but hey, at the same time, at least they're making sure that nobody over here is being abused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they want, and that's another thing is they have a show and they go, and do these interviews. They go and do these podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like they go and do all these things, and then they get mad when people comment on it. Like, I'm sorry, like the same way they can comment on what I'm doing on my channel, I can comment on their show, their TikToks, and anything. So it is what it is. You know? That's a good idea. Get me out of Tennessee. That's a good idea. All right, moderators, I just or Nat, check the group message real quick, please. Nat B or all one of you guys that's in there. I need to figure out who's not in there and put them in there. Anyways, Mackie. Can someone just make a compilation video of the family screen behavior of our used to be viewers? I used to have so many clips of them, but I have deleted a lot. But you know, yeah. And I will say each comment that I get on here counts as engagement, so it's actually a good thing when people come in and comment. Like all you guys commenting helps YouTube. Like they'll see, okay, there's 254 people in here. It tells me what my chat rate is, right? And the higher my chat rate is, the better for me. So it is what it is. Anyways, you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I will just say I'm sure I'm gonna get some heat from this, but Alana spoke on it just yesterday. It was either yesterday or the night before. Alana spoke on this, saying that I like made something out of nothing, that he didn't say that. So that's why I wanted to jump on here and let you guys know. Actually, I would not do that. I would not accuse somebody of saying something that I did not really hear or feel like they were going to say. I love that profile picture. Okay, anyways, I wouldn't do that. You know, this is a family, people that I used to really have a lot of admiration for and respect for. But now seeing like the true who they really are and how they really treat people is just kind of disgusting. And I can't support people like that on my platform. And if anything, I almost kind of feel like I've supported them so much and like pointed out like all these good things I thought they were doing. Thank you, Running Gray Wolf. Um, I've supported them and kind of put them up on this pedestal. And anybody that I've like turned to their show or convinced that these were great people, I now feel like it's kind of my duty to be like, hey, this is what it is. This is what it really is. This is who they really are. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm gonna continue to follow them. If they speak, I might speak back. It is what it is. You guys let me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have not checked out my video about the 8-passenger mom, Ruby Frankie, please check it out. It is a heartbreaking story about a mom who openly, mom and dad actually, who openly, in my opinion, abused their children publicly. And now she was just recently arrested for it. So you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I did link the podcast that Pumpkin Josh and Alana is on. If you guys want to go listen to it, it is linked right in the description box. So check that out if you want to listen. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.